welcome to Viewpoint. I am Ifoma Igwe. Jungle justice is becoming rampant in our Nigerian society. There is hardly a week we don't read on social media how an alleged criminal or criminals were lynched and probably burnt alive. And in some cases, women are not even spared as they are firstly stripped naked before killed.
Jungle justice is the concept of disregarding the rule of law and taking matters into one's hands. In the eyes of the law, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. A man about to be lynched will not have a fair trial in the hands of a bowing mob. And most important of all, tragic mistakes can be made. How many times have some unfortunate ones happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time? Let's take the case of the Alu 4 Uniport students who were murdered by a lynch mob in Alu, a town in Port Harcourt in 2012 for a crime they were totally innocent of. How many more innocent people have been killed by lynch mobs who think they have the moral right to play judge, jury and executioner? Countless, and unless something is done, there will be more. And to the lynch mob, how does it feel to have blood in their hands? Anybody participating in a lynch mob is guilty of murder, and they are no different to the person they've just killed. It becomes a simple story of the kettle calling the pot black. One mother killing another because they have no legal right to kill anybody. Has jungle justice reduced the level of crimes perpetuated in the community? The answer is no, it never will. As a matter of truth, burning and gruesomely degrading human beings is a greater evil. It is an outright violation of human rights. Jungle justice reduces human life and dignity to zero, and this is why some people can afford to call Africans barbarians.
It's very unfortunate that in the 21st century, people still resort to so kind of crude way of trying to get justice. It's not only outdated, it's antiquated, it's old-fashioned. We are practicing a constitutional democracy. So one will expect that if for whatever reason you have reason to be angry or with anybody, you allow the law to take its proper course. That is the right thing to do. Unfortunately, in this part of Nigeria, people still resort to jungle justice. Sometimes you wonder why they do it. My own experience on this kind of matter is that the law enforcement agencies, the police in particular, must be living up to expectation, because you wouldn't expect a situation where you have a case, maybe somebody comes to your business premises with arms trying to come and hurt you or harm you. You make the case known to the police, then the police collects bribe instead of arraigning the person before the court for proper justice to take place. They collect bribe and they allow the person to go free. Then the next time, because the person has not been punished according to law, the next time the person comes around again to commit the same crime, this time you might not be lucky. The person might just succeed in doing away with your life. So some persons, they say, okay, this person has come again, even after I've reported to the police. Police has collected money and they freed him and he's here again. So you have a chance to do justice. So that's what happens.
Jungle justice, as the name goes, is not a welcome development because they might be doing the wrong thing at the right time, and by taking up that jungle justice thing, first of all, we'll have to go to the law enforcement agents, because I believe because of their negligence and injustice in the police station or with the law enforcement agents, to be precise, that is why the people just take it up on themselves, not undermining the consequences. So like now you you arrest somebody, take that person to the station for robbery or for similar cases. Before you know it, for justice to take its course, you see will be discharged or bailed without a proper investigation. So that is why I believe people just take laws into their hand, though it is not a nice thing. I would have suggested that the federal government, not state this time, the federal government, the Inspector General of Police, and the Attorney General of the nation, this matter should start from there. Then the House of Assembly, National House, should equally deliberate on the issue, so that will be properly handled to avoid the killing of innocent people. Because there are in some cases, it just happened. Somebody that just picked one or small little thing, they just killed that person over nothing. And they say once you hear Ole in Lagos, that person is dead.
Jungle justice, like, I shook my head when I was going through my social media, and I saw 3 people stripped naked and beaten to even almost death. See, they were kidnappers. If they were kidnappers or they are kidnappers, are they not supposed to take them to the law enforcement agency? Are we supposed to beat them to that stage where they all got naked? Then, talking of a boy again, I read in the newspapers, a 7-year-old boy in Lagos stole Gary in Lagos, and they lynched this boy to death. Why did the boy go to steal Gary? The boy would have seen a situation, a very bad situation in hand, that he will say, what is he supposed to do? There's no food for the parents to eat. If he has parents, so okay, let me go and steal Gary. Is Gary enough to kill somebody for? Look at the amnesty stuff yesterday again. Killing, though they were denying, and let's hope that what they were saying was correct. That pro-Biafran, yes, that they were killed, 150 of them. At the space I saw, that from that place I saw when the soldiers were running after them, shooting, that place only 20 souls would have gone. So why are we doing all this in this country? The present country we have today, that's Nigeria. It's a very sorrowful one. And the whole mess started from this regime. When I mean regime, the Buhari's regime. Because I remember that when Jonathan was still there, we were still getting a bag of rice for 8,000, 7,500. But tremendously, it's on the increase, that one aside. So he has personally killed this country from an angle.
The people involved believe that on their own they can do it, believing that the law cannot give them the protection they are entitled to. They believe they can treat the person whom they consider have committed an offense against them their own way, either killing, doing harm, like the one I read in the Guardian some few days ago, that a young boy who was hungry took Gary somewhere and he was lynched to death. That is jungle justice. And these things have become rampant in this new dispensation because the government on its own do not obey the laws, or when decisions of court are given, they do not want to abide by it. It creates anarchy. It creates tension in the society and the area where such things occur. It makes the people lose faith in the state and lose faith in the laws of the land. And everybody desiring to do things their own way, taking us back to the pre-colonial era, where some sets of people would gather together and say they are the ones in charge, without listening to the people doing harm or evil to some others, killing them, cutting off their neck by reason of, oh, you contravene our rule. You don't try them. You don't give them opportunity to express themselves. Or look at what happened in Ondo recently. Those are the situations of the jungle justice we talk about. Rather than follow the rules, the procedure that is meant to be followed, you want to do it your own way and feel you will get a backing from the authorities that be. So, to avoid such situation, we must follow the rules and regulations and has been prescribed for us to follow. And that is the only way that we as human beings can live with one another.
The judiciary of this world is supposed to take after the pattern of God's judiciary system. Okay, and that's why in the wisdom of men, they have the magistrate court, they have the high court, and when you're not satisfied with the high court, you move over to appeal court. You're not still satisfied, you move over to Supreme Court. So jungle justice for me is simply a function, a product of selfishness. Yes, selfishness, like what we have seen very, very lately. You bounce on somebody who's got a right, who's, no matter what he has done, until the court of law prove otherwise, that person is still innocent. And so for me, it's not the way to God, because that's not the path of God. Even Jesus Christ, who was born to die, he had to go through justice. Even though there was actually no justice, God set him up for our salvation, but he passed through the process. So I do not think it's the right thing to do.
The Senate recently passed for second reading a bill to protect people from jungle justice, even though some Nigerians have attributed the rise of this to lack of faith in the judicial system, security agencies, or even the government. All it takes is just a mere accusation and someone is lynched to death. And most people who participate in this act do not ask questions, hence the need for all to be careful of our actions and inactions. I am Ifoma Igwe.